Well, I want to welcome you. I'm Mr. Russell. I'm the 11th grade administrator at Warren Central High School for the year of 2020 for 21 school year. I want to welcome our Warrior families to this webinar video. Welcome back our 11th grade parents and guardians. Obviously, it's been a little while since we've been together and been able to talk to each other, so we are super excited to be back with you guys here this year. And serving our community and our students. So we are definitely excited to be back. It's good to walk around the hallways and see our students happy and excited to be back on Warren Central's campus. So welcome, and we appreciate you guys being here. As you know, this has obviously been a challenging year as a start this year so far. But as it says on the little PowerPoint, we are in this together. Definitely a different feel to this year with having the in-person and the hybrid schedules, and some of our students are all virtual. But nonetheless, we are going to do what we need to do, continue to do what we need to do to serve all of our students this year. Parents, we want you to know that you are not in this journey alone. We are here to assist you and help you. We know that you guys are working as hard as you possibly can at your homes and places that you dwell. To make sure that you raise and teach your kids the right things, and we are doing that as well here. So, you know, whatever efforts that you are having at home to make sure your kids are on the right path, we are backing you up here with school and the educational side and the co-curricular side to make sure these children move along this journey path in the right direction. And as always, everything that we do was based in CORE, which is civility, order, respect, and excellence. So you don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about us not doing right by your child. So we are here to serve you and do whatever we need to do. This is something we talk to the kids about all the time, and it applies to our parents and our guardians as well. We appreciate and love the opportunity to serve each and every one of you. And unfortunately, there's nothing you're going to do about that. So you're just going to have to accept the fact that we appreciate all of you and we are here for you. Something that we also try to drive home the point to the students. And, you know, we obviously know that you guys as parents do that as well. We want our students to understand the point of what we're doing, the people that are involved in the process of which we need to follow to get to these following benchmarks. So over the course of our 4 years in high school, we want to have a 96% or better attendance rate. How do we do that? Well, you got to get up out of bed. First, you got to go to bed on time. And then you got to get up, you got to get to school, you got to get to those classes so teachers can take attendance as they're supposed to and make sure you're accounted for, whether you are in person or even, you know, if on the virtual side, you know, logging into those classrooms, and Canvas and Apex and whatever else, you know, you've been assigned to do. Just make sure you log in and get that attendance so it can be taken. We want to have a 92% or higher graduation rate. So each year we hover around 90% or so graduation rate, but we want that to be higher. So our slogan is history in the making. So we are really pushing forward to have that 92% or higher graduation rate, and every single child counts. Whatever you can do to you know, earn those credits, be in school, do the right thing, we need you all to graduate. We also want to have a 90% or higher student extracurricular involvement rate. So we want at least 90% of our students involved in something after school, whether that be a sport, a club, a service group, whatever it is that you can connect to Warren Central High School, which will help keep you connected to the community, which will help you in turn be a better citizen. That's what we want. So 96, 92, and 90, understanding the point, the people involved, and understanding the process. Again, parents, we want you to know that you are not alone in this journey. And, you know, we talk to the kids about that all the time. It's not a one-man team, it's a we team. Warren Central High School, Walker Career Center, we're all Warrior Nation, we're all warriors. And parents, you were on that team as well. So like I said earlier, the things that you are doing at home to make sure your student is healthy and safe and educated and raised properly, we're doing those same things here at school for you. I want you to meet the team again. I'm Mr. Russell. I'm the 11th grade administrator, but I have a host of people that are here with me to make sure we get this thing done the right way in 2022. So here's the team. We have Miss Boyd, our secretary. Miss Boyd, if you can wave and say hello.
Hello.
That's Miss Ford, our cohort secretary. We also have Miss Moeller, our superstar academic coach. Say hey, Miss Moeller.
Hi there.
We have Miss Reynolds, our counselor for the students with the last names A through L. She's a superstar as well. Miss Reynolds, say hey.
Hello.
And Mr. Howe rounding up the team. He's our counselor for the last portion of the students, M through Z. And Mr. Howe, say hey. All right.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. L through Z, actually, Mr. Russell. But
Oh, sorry.
everybody.
I apologize. There we go, Mr. Howe. All right, moving on. Miss Moeller, I know there's lots of things that you want to talk to us about, but if you can begin talking to us about your role, what you do for Warren Central High School, and what is this motivation thing?
Absolutely. Well, as your academic coach, my role is to really help motivate you, provide you all the resources and aids that are necessary to succeed in high school and do your absolute best, as well as provide support for you in communicating with your teachers, your dean, any form of communication you're going to do in regards to high school and your classes. And as far as motivation goes, every couple of weeks, I will put out a video that just kind of encourage you to get in there and get it done. If you ever need a pep talk, I'm your girl. That's what I do. I help you understand exactly everything you have to give to this world and how we can utilize all those skills and all those special gifts so that you can be successful. Different methods that I use to connect with your Warriors parents is I oftentimes will email. I will send out those little videos. I will be active and kind of checking up on them in Canvas, as well as face-to-face for those of our students who are in our hybrid instruction. And for our virtual kids, I try to call everybody at least once a month is my goal. And we're doing really well and getting super close to that. So that makes me very happy. Part of that is our multi-tiered assistance program. Through this, I really support the teachers so that they can do the teaching, do the support option portion of their teaching, allow them to highlight you and congratulate you for everything you've done. They're going to set the expectations and really measure your growth. And as you interact with them, if you're feeling like that's just not enough, then that's when you contact me. I will help you with study aids, again with that motivation, work with you on executive function skills like time management as well as organization, as well as help you through any credit recovery options you might need for those moments that maybe you didn't do as well as you could have in classes and you need to make up some of those credits. Likewise, I am really a part of your team as far as communication goes. I can help you interact with your teachers, your counselor, your dean, everybody, so that we can create a good team that will help you be successful.
Perfect. Ms. Moeller, how can the students get a hold of you? Can they just come down when they want to, or how do they get a hold of you?
It's email me. My email's at the end of this presentation. Call me. My phone number is at the end of this presentation. And parents, that goes for you as well. Likewise, I have Zoom meetings that I send out in an email every week. Please come Fridays from 1 to 2. And if you're in school and you'd like to see me, just send me an email, say, I'd like to come down and visit you, and either I'll come to your class or I'll have you come down here, depending on the day and how things are working out that day. Likewise, oftentimes I'm in the cafeteria during lunches and I can see you then as well.
Perfect. We're going to go to, I think there's a little bit more information, Ms. Moeller, if there's anything else that on this slide that you'd like to talk to our students and our parents about.
Just really quickly, guys, I want to highlight one of the most important things for you to do right now in your 2021 year. You need to check your email multiple times a day. Not only am I trying to communicate with you, so are your counselors, your teachers definitely are, and we need to have a way to connect with you. If we're not seeing you every day, we need to at least be hearing from you as often as possible. So read those emails, respond, make sure you're communicating. Set a schedule, guys. You're not in school every day, all day long now. So I highly recommend that you have a start time and an end time so that you can schedule yourself, set boundaries for yourself. I've included in this slide a sample schedule, a weekly planner to help you if that seems to be a challenge. If those don't suit you, please let me know. And I have other options as well, or we can create one that's individualized to your needs. Finally, ask for assistance. Please get help now. If you're confused and the Zoom calls make you a little nervous, your email isn't working out right, you don't feel comfortable with one of your teachers because you don't know them very well, again, let me know and I can help you out with that. We can email you the synchronous check-in times for your teachers, which is just a fancy way to say live one-on-one. And as well, there's other virtual assistance options, different websites, different teachers that I can connect you with, different tutoring possibilities, but you have to communicate those needs to me so that I can help you out. Warren Central has a rich supply of possibilities to offer you. You just need to pick them up and use them.
And Ms. Moeller, I love what you have on the bottom of your slide. There's no time like the present. I absolutely love that, because that's one thing that we have no control over is the time. There's only so much time you get in a particular day, and you never know when the next thing is going to happen. So if you have the ability to take care of something now, go ahead and do it now.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons Mrs. Boyd and I are so excited right now, because it's your junior year, kids, and you're about to be Warren Central graduates and join Mrs. Boyd and myself as proud alum of Warren Central. And we cannot wait for you to be one of us.
Perfect. So parents, make sure you let your children know that there are multiple ways to get a hold of Ms. Moeller so they can get a little piece of her motivation and keep it moving to 2022. Perfect. All right, Ms. Moeller, what are some other things that are available for parents to talk to their children about to get help if they need a little extra help?
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of opportunities online. We have khanacademy.org, which is very helpful if you need some additional resources. You want to watch a video, you want to do some sample problems. That's a great way. And then just the last couple of years, Mr. Russell, Indiana Gear Up has afforded us the opportunity to utilize tutor.com. This is a 24/7 online tutoring option that is available from our Gear Up program. You can be connected to experts in their fields in just minutes, and it's from everything English, math, science, history, you name it, they have it for you. There's also some review services for writing assignments, as well as practice quizzes, AP exam, test prep activities, just the list goes on. At the bottom of this slide, you'll notice there is a link for that, tutor.com, Indiana Gear Up. Your username is your first and last name, and your password will be Gear Up. If for some reason you have difficulty logging in, please do not give up. Gear Up, get it? Don't give up, Gear Up. Just fill out the Google form for assistance and somebody will be right there to help you out. So again, no excuses. We have lots of possibilities for you. You just have to take it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to...
Real quick, Ms. Moeller, I want to, this was all put together before I had this information, but I did just learn that the username format is not correct on here. It is still the first name dot last name, but it's all lowercase. So that's important for the kids to know. All lowercase, no capital at the beginning of your names.
Perfect.
Okay,
Mr. Howe,
lowercase it up.
Mr. Howe, can you say that one more time just to make sure our parents know that little slight change, because I don't want anybody confused.
Absolutely. So down at the bottom of the slide, you'll see where it says username is first name dot last name, and then there is an example there. What we have learned since putting this together is that the example is slightly off. It needs to be first name dot last name with all the letters lowercase. So do not capitalize the first letter of the first name or the first letter of the last name. Just all lowercase first name dot all lowercase last name, and then the password is still Gear Up with all lowercase letters.
Perfect. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, we are moving on to Miss Reynolds and her points to ponder. Miss Reynolds, what can you tell our parents about the information we try to give to their students about being a young professional.
Yes. Thank you for asking, Mr. Russell. So the students know every year I kind of, make it a priority to talk about the same things, because I just feel like, they're so beneficial, because we don't just want our students to just leave here with a diploma. We want them to leave here with the skills that they, need to have to be professional in every area, to be well-rounded. So whether they're going to a four-year college or whether they're going to a trade school, military, straight to the workforce, what have you, we want them to have the skills that they need to be successful. So the main thing, parents, one of the things that I try to make sure that all the students understand, especially junior year, I feel like this is a critical year in regards to this, is that communication etiquette. Communication is key, since we do live, in a world where we're using technology a lot. With everything that's going on right now, students are probably getting a lot of emails and they're probably sending a lot of emails. So I want to make sure that, for one, the students are able to convey in an appropriate way, what they're asking for to get their needs met. So really just, helping students to understand that, the way that you script out a text message is going to be different from the way that you need to send an email to your teachers, so starting off the email appropriately. Dear Mr. Russell, dear Miss Moeller, hi, how are you? I hope that you're doing well, things of that sort. We want students to understand that the tone of their email kind of lets the teacher know, how serious they are, how diligent they are. And you can really see that the student really took the time out of their day to say, hey, I need help. I'm asking for it politely. I'm taking this seriously. I would just appreciate if you can just give me, some additional assistance there. So really, parents, this year, if you can kind of help us with that as well at home. A lot of our students do a tremendous job with that already, of sending, those proper emails. And then that's going to carry them, once they leave here, they'll have the skills that they need in regards to that. As far as class participation and involvement, this is key as well, not just because of, your class participation is a part of your grade for many of our students. So, attendance, when you showcase that you are actively involved in class and you can kind of chime in and things of that sort, it lets the teacher know that, you're paying attention, you're engaged. So then that teacher will know that, oh, okay, they'll be more receptive to give you assistance. Not saying that teachers won't assist you if you're not asking questions. That we do know that we have some introverted students, but it just kind of shows that, when you're participating, when you're actively engaged, the teacher knows that, okay, I know that this student understands this, but maybe they're still struggling with this. Speaking with others, again, just reiterating that, it's important when there's something you don't understand, that you're communicating that appropriately. So just teaching students, how to politely ask for help. If they have a moment of frustration, take a deep breath. This is new for all of us, and, we understand the frustration, but just how to effectively communicate, what their needs are. And then with that, as far as the class participation, the engaging, with their counselors, their teachers, other staff members in the building. Junior year is also going to be a critical year, and you'll see that another point, but I'm just going to tie in the two here, for juniors to build in, those positive relationships. A lot of students already this year have reached out to Mr. Russell, myself, Mr. Howe, Ms. Moeller, Ms. Boyd, about using us as references, or just needing a recommendation. So, we're really trying to get students to understand that, it's really important for you to have at least one or two people in the building, adults that you can connect with, who can, talk about you in a positive light, because, come senior year, when you're needing those positive recommendations and things of that sort, you already know who you're going to go to, who knows you the best, who knows what your skills are. So that's important as well. Moving on to multi-tiered assistance program. As far as counselors, for me and Mr. Howe, the main thing, especially going into junior year, we just want to make sure that all of our students, feel supported in every area, holistically. The mental health is a big piece, especially with, I know for many of our students, with everything that has transpired this year, whether that be COVID or whether it just be a lot of things going on in our country beyond our control, a lot of our students are struggling with that. Please know that that's okay. We're all struggling with it, so we are here as your counselors, as your cohort, to support you and get you through that. And parents, if there is, something that you're noticing that has kind of shifted, with your students, we do have referrals to, counseling services, and it's right here at school. So we do have that resource available for you all as well. As far as basic needs, whether students need supplies or clothing or additional food, we do, as far as counselors and the entire cohort, can make sure that you're getting those resources as well. So that's not a problem. Just feel free to email either one of us, give us a call, let us know what you need. We can direct you in the right direction. Moorhead is going to be a big resource, especially for some of our virtual kids this semester and this school year. So even if it's, you're having issues with your technology, okay, things happen, maybe you don't have internet access, let us know. Let myself know, let Mr. Howe know, let Ms. Moeller know, so that we can get you connected with the internet, okay? So whatever it is, even if we don't have the answer, we will get you the help that you need. Social emotional help, again, for our students, not just who are here hybrid, that come every other day, but our virtual students. As far as encouragement, if you need a one-on-one Zoom meeting, if I need to block out time in my day, parents, to meet with students and offer additional support. I know that, the first couple of weeks of school was a little rocky, and, we had a lot of students who were stressed. Let us know. We can do check-ins. If you need a weekly check-in, if you need some encouragement, whatever it is that you need, just feel free to reach out. Also, students, you already know, every year I ask you, make sure that you're checking your roster. Who's on your roster? So at this point now, as juniors, we are in the third quarter, okay? Halftime's over. You guys have had your good pep talk. Freshman year, that's over with. Second quarter, sophomore year, that's done, okay? Third quarter. So parents, with the third quarter, we're really encouraging students, okay? You got to try to win the game. We're going to graduation. So we're trying to get you all there. So any, negativity or anything that you had, that was on your roster freshman and sophomore year that wasn't useful, get rid of it, okay? And parents as well. You have a right as a parent to know, who your kids are interacting with, know who the people on their rosters are, okay? Is it a positive influence? Is it a negative influence? So if you ever need additional insight there, we're here to support you, because we just want to make sure that every student has the right people on their rosters to make it to graduation, and not just graduation, but beyond, okay? We already talked about the importance of building meaningful relationships with staff, and not just here with people in staff, people in the community, okay? So, as juniors at this point, students should understand that, your character and your reputation at this point speaks volumes, okay? So just make sure that you're making good decisions in and out of school. And this year, no excuses. We've had plenty of time to, okay, it's okay if sophomore year didn't go so well. Okay, this is a fresh new start. Okay, third quarter, let's get in here. No excuses. Parents, this is also a good year too for students to understand that they have to be accountable as well. Okay, you may have Mr. Russell, you have Miss Moeller, you have Mr. Howe, myself, you have Miss Boyd, you have all of the teachers and everything that you need. But at the end of the day, you yourself have to be accountable as a student to be motivated to finish assignments, to be motivated to, advocate for yourself. Ask questions. Don't just assume that people know that you need help, okay? No excuses. Parents also, again, this year I would say is a good year for you to kind of help your your kids know how to advocate for themselves. You know, we appreciate when we get the phone calls from parents, when we get the emails from parents, but we really want students this year to really know how to, you know, advocate for themselves first, so that, you know, they know how to speak for themselves. Because, you know, once you graduate and you leave here, you're not always going to have Miss Moeller. You're not going to have Miss Reynolds or Mr. Howe or Mr. Russell. Mom can't go with you to Purdue. Mom can't go with you to your first job. Okay. So you have to know how to speak for yourself. Your voice matters. So that is what we really want parents to help us with this year. You know, help the kids understand the importance of advocating for themselves.
Ms. Reynolds, I appreciate that so much. There are two things that you said that just really strike a chord with me. Is one, under that multi-tiered assistance program approach that we use, you talked about basic needs. And just, you know, from what I know about human nature, if people's basic needs aren't met, it's very difficult to go on and be successful. So that's one thing I will say, amongst many things. One thing that Warren Central High School, Walker Career Center, the Warrior Nation is good. We take care of each other through thick and through thin. So if like you mentioned about those things, if it's just, you know, pencils, food, clothes, you know, we can't really do hugs right now, but, you know, an air hug, or, you know, whatever you need as a student, and, you know, as a family member, you know, mom, dad, grandma, whoever, whatever y'all need, please let us know. Give us an opportunity to help you. We may not have the answer, but I can guarantee we will figure out some way to find what you need. The other thing you talked about that I think parents will most definitely appreciate, and I'm hopeful to get some feedback from our parents, you talked about who's on your roster. And I know parents work tirelessly to ensure they know who's, you know, in and out of their students' lives. And the students got to help out too. So like you said, if the people are not in your best interest, it's time to cut them by the wayside and let them go on down the river. Because if you have some things that are in your future, in their horizon, if there's something or some people, some situations that are weighing you down, you know, as parents, ourselves, as, you know, educators, as community stakeholders, we want all of our warriors to be successful. So who's on your roster? Are they in your best interest? And if you need something, please come let us know. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So Ms. Reynolds, I know we do have another option to help out parents so they can help their children out. What's up with Gear Up?
Yeah, so Miss Moeller, she kind of touched base a little bit about Gear Up. So I'm gonna add some additional information as far as the in-person tutoring. So right now, and please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Howe, Ms. Moeller, is the Monday and Tuesday just for our hybrid students only as far as staying after school?
Yes, ma'am. They are working on what exactly the option is going to look like for the virtual students. It's going to be some sort of Zoom session, but that is still being finalized.
Awesome. Okay. So yes, parents, we do have Gear Up again this year for our students. So students can stay after school for tutoring Monday and Tuesday this year from 2:30 to 4:30. What they will do is when school is over, instead of getting home and going straight to the bus, they're going to go to the science wing, to the S Hall, and they're going to meet with our after school teachers. So tutoring, they can stay for the entire 2 hours. If they drive, they can get the help that they need. And, you know, as long as they check out with those teachers, they can have the permission to then leave. Students who don't have their own transportation, there is a bus available, an after school bus. So those students will have transportation home if they stay after school for tutoring on Monday and Tuesday. We just recently started that. So I believe this next week is going to be our second week, I believe, of offering this. So students, please take advantage of this, okay? If doesn't matter if it's science, if it's math, if it's English, it's okay. This is another resource that you have, you know, so don't sit and wait, you know, until, you know, you're still struggling, you know, we get to October, November, you know, utilize Gear Up now. The teachers there are great. The tutors are great. They're willing to help you with what you need and, you know, get you going in the right direction. So parents, after school tutoring is available Monday and Tuesday, 2:30 to 4:30. And yes, there is transportation after school.
Perfect. And as well, you know, we're in a different time now. So if you are staying after school, just make sure your students know, your children know, we got to adhere to the CDC guidelines. We're going to, make sure the students are spread apart as much as possible, at least 6 feet or more. They're going to have to wear their mask. We'll have, the hand sanitizing, some different breaks to wash your hands. So we want the students there, but we also want to do it in a safe and responsible manner. So if you could just, parents, continue to pass those safety precautions along to your children, and we will definitely enforce those here at school. Mr. Howe, talk to us about some tips for success, sir.
Yes, sir. So as we've hit on a few times already, we are halfway through your high school career, or your student's high school career, I should say. So at the end of these 4 years, the students need to have a minimum of 42 credits in order to graduate. Break that math down, it is 10.5 credits per year. We put them in 6 to 7 credits each year. Or each semester, I should say. So each year they'd be getting 12 to 14. So there is, there's a safety net there. There's a little wiggle room. They need to have those 42 credits. So we are in the first of our last 4 semesters. A little bit more if you count summer school in there, but we're running out of time to collect those credits. So we really need to be every semester, every class, got to be on top of it, especially if your child has fallen behind at all in their credits. We want to make sure that we are in a position to get to that 42 or above by graduation. And of course, 42 is just the total. We also have requirements as far as, they need to have 8 English credits. They need to have credits in 6 specific math classes and all of that. So the 42 is not that magic number is not everything, but that is the minimum. Even if we have everything else done, we've got 38 credits total. They've not finished high school yet, so at 42 is huge. Pathways, we've been talking about pathways since freshman year, a little bit more each year as it's become more and more relevant. Right now, there's a lot up in the air with the pathways because obviously we've now had 2 school years interrupted by the COVID situation, and so will that mean that our graduation requirements get altered? We don't know. We probably won't know until next year, unfortunately. So it's really important that the students stay on top of those pathways, especially as one of the I-STEP test attempts have already been interrupted by the situation. Those graduation pathways are meant to be a sort of plan B to I-STEP, passing I-STEP, and we've lost one of our chances to even take it. So students, they really need to be, the first step in that graduation pathway is finishing that diploma, so getting those 42 credits and the specific credits in English, math, social studies, science, PE, all of those. Students need to be involved in something, so a job, a club, a sport. We have a few classes that count for this as well, but we need to get them involved in something, and then there is a form we need to get them to fill out. They can pick that up in the counseling office. But there is a form that needs to be filled out for them to say that, hey, I participated in whatever it might be, and it counts for my second part of my pathway. The third part, there's a few ways that we can hit it, but the way that 90% or more of our students are going to hit it is going to be finishing the career pathway. So that's why, if you notice, your student seems to be in classes in the Walker Career Center every semester. That's why. Getting 6 credits within a certain career pathway with a GPA within those 6 credits of, I believe it's 2 or above, off the top of my head. That's one of the ways that we can hit that third requirement. There's a few other ways as well, but that is the most common way. So that is the way that we focus the most on. So we are really focusing on getting those career classes done, as well as, like I said, all of the classes. So we're making sure we're getting those 42 credits and more to be able to graduate at the end of next year. We want to watch them walk across that stage. Going back to the multi-tiered assistance program, as we prepare for them to walk across that stage, we are here to help them prepare for what comes next. So, students are starting to think about college, starting to think about careers. We've got some resources for that. We can definitely help them with figuring out what college is good for them, what careers they might be interested in, how do they apply for different colleges, how do they get scholarships. We do have a gentleman in our office, Mr. Greg Fletcher, who can help with some of the college with applying for colleges and applying for scholarships, as well as some other things. And we'll come back to his information a little bit later. Transcripts and schedules, students as they need transcripts sent to 2 different schools or 2 different scholarship programs, or even just for a job interview or whatever it might be. We can provide those through Canvas. Again, pop down by the CSE or give your counselor a call. We can give you more information about how to do that. And then I'll talk in a few minutes about some other college and career resources, but schedules. We are here to help you guys with your schedules, or help your students with their schedules, I should say. We're trying to get them in the right classes each semester, prepare them not only to be successful this semester, but the semesters to come, and make sure they have the classes not just to graduate, but they don't necessarily need this math class to graduate, but they do need it if they want to go to Purdue. So we're trying to make sure that they have what they need for now and for later.
Perfect, Mr. Howe. We appreciate you. And I know you have a little caption on the bottom of your screen. Tell me, we've got your back. What does that mean to our parents?
Oh, all the way. We are here to help you guys. We, as Ms. Reynolds stated earlier, we really want the kids to be learning to self-advocate. We want them to learn to, I always say, we want the students to not leave here not only with an education, but with having been prepared for life. So we are here to help you guys, help them learn those lessons and be prepared. And if there's anything that we can do to assist, we're here.
Perfect, man. I appreciate that. All right, Mr. Howe, I know there's a couple more things you want to talk about on the Canvas page. What's Canvas and what's going on there?
So Canvas is the platform that your child is using for all of their virtual classes, unless they are working on Apex. That would be a little different. But each child has a Canvas account that they can log into and access. If they are on the hybrid model, Canvas is what they are supposed to be accessing each day that they're not here in the building. So in addition to their semester courses, each child is enrolled in a Canvas page called Warrior Central. And when they access that page, there are a few buttons about halfway down that front page of that course. One of them says 2022 or class of 2022. And if they click on that, they will go to our section of the Canvas page, the Warrior Central Canvas course, where we have put as much information as we can on there. We really feel very strongly about students having access to information as they need it. So we have made sure to load that up. We've got our information on there. They can come and see us, see who we are, and how to get a hold of us if they do not know. All the information about the Gear Up tutoring is on there. So they can go in and see that. I can't remember what days it is, what time it is, it's right on there. Same with tutoring.com. There's a direct link for them to fill out that form if they're having issues. There's a direct link to tutoring.com if they are having trouble remembering what the URL was. We do have a page on there for the important documents. The student handbook is on there. My goal is we can get access to it, to put this video on there if students' parents want to access it later. Because SAT and ACT is a big thing that's coming up this year. We do have a page on there full of information about how to sign up, when to sign up, when are the test dates coming up, and what are the deadlines for those test dates. Different websites that students can use to practice for those tests, get different kinds of help. All of that is on there, as well as that contact information for Mr. Greg Fletcher I mentioned earlier. He is here to help with all of that, and he is a great resource. So his contact information is on there for students who are preparing for that SAT and ACT. Students who are interested in going to a four-year college do typically take one or both of those tests starting the second semester of their junior year. So that is coming up. So if your child is thinking that route, we definitely want to get them started next semester, if not a little earlier. We do have a frequently asked questions page on there with information. Some of the information we're going to cover on here as well. Actually, I think most of it we're going to cover on here as well, but it's there. So, there's a lot of information to remember. And if your child can't remember at the end of this, how was I supposed to go get a work permit? The information's on there for them to access and remind them to, what those steps are. And then finally, we do have a link to our Twitter page where we try to put out announcements. We try to give kudos when we can to different students who are doing awesome things. And, when we can, we try to have some fun on there. So, feel free to come and join us on there as well.
Sounds good, Mr. Howe. Appreciate it. Hey, I know that Naviance is definitely a key component of which students and parents have access to. What's up with Naviance?
Absolutely. So students can access Naviance by going to their Clever account through their Chromebook, and then there's an icon on there for Naviance that as soon as they click on it, it's going to take them straight to the website. Parents, if you have not seen this yet, I encourage you, please ask your child to log in so you guys can take a look at it together. It is awesome. I don't mind saying I'm jealous that I didn't have this in high school, because it is full of resources to make the process easier for, researching different jobs. I mean, if you go in there and you look up, high school teacher or something, you'll see everything from what does the day-to-day look like? What are some of the skills that are most important to be successful in that field? What's the salary, depending on experience and where you're located? What kind of degree do you need? And then you can actually work backwards from there and see, okay, for job XYZ, I need a master's degree in ABC. Well, you can click on that and go straight to a list of universities that offer that program, so you can start narrowing down where it is that you might want to go to get that degree. So moving into the colleges, when you look at colleges, you can see tuition costs, you can see what programs are available, you can see so much information about the school atmosphere. They actually have a college super match tool where you can go in and set everything from what I want to major in, what part of the country or even specifically state I want to be in, to what's the rough population I want the school to be? Do I want there to be Greek housing? Do I want to live on campus or off campus? There's so many things that you can put in, and then get a list of schools that say, this school has 100% of what you're looking for. This school has 98% of what you're looking for. It's an amazing tool, and it can be so helpful for a student who's not sure, who knows what they want, and not sure where that's going to be. For students who are more interested in going into the workforce, or even just looking to get a job right now, there is an awesome resume builder on there that can be found under the About Me section on Naviance, that will literally go through step by step, category by category, and say, this is the information you need to input here. It'll give them a text box to input that information, and they'll add, and when they feel like they've entered everything that they can, they will hit a button to finalize. It will give them 3 options for the formatting, and it will take all the information that they input and put it into a resume format for them, and they're very professional looking resumes. So that can be huge, especially for a high school student who is applying to a job with a professional resume. That can be a big difference maker. And then finally, for students who just don't know yet what they want to do, there's a lot on Naviance of different interest surveys and personality profiles and things like that to help them narrow down, what would I be good at? What kind of job would I be interested in? What kind of job, just meet some of the things that I like to do. What's my learning style? There's a learning style inventory on there. So there's a lot of things on there to help them learn more about themselves and help them be more successful in their approach to procuring their future.
Right on, Mr. Howe. We appreciate that, because as much information as we can provide our parents so they can help reinforce and teach our children and guide them in the right direction, for colleges, jobs, apprenticeships, military, whatever they want to do, we want to make sure and have our kids have all the resources that are available. So we appreciate that.
Absolutely. I do definitely recommend parents get on there and take a look at it with your kids, because you will be very impressed.
Very good. Thank you, man, for the information. Now we're going to go to Miss Boyd, and she's going to talk to us about the new normal. And you have to give us just a second. We were having some computer issues, so she's been patiently waiting about 7.5 feet apart just to make sure we're socially distanced. So we're going to give ourselves a chance to switch places, and she's going to talk to us about the new normal.
Hello, you guys. I want to talk to you about making sure that your students are here every day. And if they are not going to be here, just to make sure that you always call your student in if they're going to be absent, whether if they have a doctor's appointment or if they just are not going to be able to make it due to other issues, always call in. You can call our attendance line, or you can call my phone, or give me an email. The information is on the bottom of this slide. And then I will take care of their attendance. Also, just making sure when your students do have doctor's appointments, make sure they have a doctor's note, so that way they can bring it to me, or you can email it to me, so that way I can mark their attendance the correct way in the system. Also, early dismissals and late arrivals. If you know your student is going to be leaving early that day, or you needing to pick your student up, you can email me and let me know that you're going to be coming, or you can call my number at the bottom of the slide, so that way I can have your student ready when you arrive at door 1. Normally, parents will be able to come in and sign their student out. The new normal is you would just come in through door 1, show them your ID and let them know who you're picking up, and then they will notify me, and then I will send your student down to you. So just please, if you know in advance, just give me enough time to get your student to you, so that way everything can go smoothly. Also, late arrivals. If you know your student is going to be running late, or maybe your student missed the bus, or you're just having, transportation issues, or whatever the case may be, make sure that you are calling in that student, so that way I can know how to code them in the system, so they are not marked absent in their classes. Also, when they do arrive late, have your student come to side B and check in with me, so that way I can update their attendance, so their teacher knows that they were out for whatever reason. And that helps out a lot with teachers knowing, how to help that student catch up on work if they miss anything, and they can, update the student that way. Also, the new normal is a lot right now, but we want to still make sure that you're reminding your students to wear a mask every day. The social distance, I know it's hard because their friends are here and they want to, talk and all that, but, making sure we are following all the CDC guidelines is very important. Washing your hands. If your student is feeling sick, or has a temperature, cough, headache, please report that to us. We call the nurse's office, so that way we can make sure that everything is going smoothly in that area. So if you guys have any questions, you can always give me an email, or you can call me, and I will be more than happy to help you.
Thank you, Ms. Bull. We appreciate that. It's so important that our families know and understand that they have someone that they can come to make sure, all those attendance things are taken care of, early dismissals, late arrivals, updating paperwork, whatever they need to do, we will definitely make sure and get them to you, so that way parents can get moving about their day, because that's really the name of the game for parents. Send them to school. They're in good hands. We take care of the things we need to take care of, so the parents can go work and do what they need to do. So we appreciate you, Mr. Boyd. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm sure parents have some questions about some different things. So these are a few items that I know that are listed on our cohort website page, but we're going to talk about a few of these things. So team, we're going to do like a little Jeopardy. You guys can get some little points here. As the question pops up, raise your hand if you think you know the answer, and you may get a little Scooby snack. So we'll see what type of questions we have here and what type of answers we can get. So question number 1, let me see what's on the list. We have work permits. Does anyone have any information about work permits? Anybody on the team? Miss Moeller, feel free to talk to us about work permits.
Well, students, when you interview for a job, and this is what you're going to do, you're going to bring in a form that's signed by the employer. Well, actually, first you're going to go to the Career Center, pick up the form you need, have your employer sign it, fill out the rest of the information, and then drop it off to Mrs. Boyd, so that she can then give it to Mr. Russell, who will give his final approval.
Perfect. And also once, like she said, once those work permits, everything is done and everything checks out, I am so happy and excited to sign those work permits because I want you guys out in the community, you know, showing your faces and giving your talents and showing people what you're all about and representing the warrior nation. And at the end of the day, you get some money for it, and that is wonderful. So, and we'll teach you all about how to stack your money up and make it grow. So we'll teach all that. But first of all, get those work permits, get everything signed right, get it to me, so that I can sign it so you're able to get some work in. Perfect. All right. Question number 2 for 25 Scooby Snacks. Virtual versus in-person learning. What do we need to know about virtual versus in-person learning? Does anyone? Miss Moeller, she's quick on the draw.
I'm so excited. I love games. Okay, virtual students. If you're a virtual student, you're either Initial Credit Apex or Canvas Virtual. Initial Credit Apex means you're learning on the Apex platform, and you will communicate a great deal with myself, Mr. Howe, and Ms. Reynolds. We will unlock your information for you as well as provide you support as necessary. If you're a Canvas Virtual student, you are working through your Canvas page and interacting with your individualized teachers for each class. In-person hybrid, you're here every other day. If you're A through K, you are here on Black days. And if you are L through Z, you are here on Gold days. And on those specific days, you can interact with us, see us if you need to by sending us an email.
Thank you, Ms. Waller. And something else I wanted to add, if it is not your day to be at school, unless you have some specific business, and this is for parents to relate to students, unless your child has some specific business with an adult in the building, they're really not supposed to be on campus. So we're trying to make sure and keep, you know, our numbers on the entire campus down, and keep ourselves and you as parents and students as safe as possible. So if they're not supposed to be here on that day, please make sure your student is not on campus. So thank you, Ms. Muller. You have 50 Scooby Snacks so far. So you're doing.
I would like fruit snacks, please.
Fruit snacks.
Was she supposed to answer in the form of a question?
What?
What was that, Mr. Howe?
I said, were you supposed to answer in the form of a question?
I don't know. I like the game the way it is, so let's not mess that up, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on.
Hey, I do actually have something to add, though,
Sure.
to the virtual versus in-person. So the Canvas virtual is different. Those classes are different from the classes that the hybrid students are doing in person and on Canvas. So they are not simply in the normal, 5th period geometry class and just not showing up on those hybrid days. It is actually a completely different section of the class. So if you are not sure whether you are supposed to be a virtual student, if you look at your schedule, if your classes are scheduled periods 1 through 7, those are live in-person classes. If they are scheduled somewhere between period 10 and 25, those we had to give them crazy numbers. Those are the virtual, online, fully not expected to be in the building classes.
Perfect.
Very good.
And if a parent or a student has any questions, feel free, parents. You guys can just email or call us, and we will definitely make sure and clarify anything that maybe was included today. Ms. Reynolds, go ahead.
Oh, Mr. Russell, I was also going to say for our in-person students, just also remember, it's just as important for you on the days that you are not here to get those assignments done. So, I think there's, a lot of miscommunication early in the semester. Just because you're an in-person student, on the days that you're not supposed to be here, you're still required, to log on virtually, and you're expected to get those assignments done. Okay. So, it really shouldn't be a day, where you're just kind of lollygagging and things of that sort. If you need help getting a set schedule together, reach out to your counselors, reach out to Ms. Muller. We'd be more than happy, to help you kind of figure out a schedule that works best for you on your virtual days. But yes, you are still expected to do your learning and get your assignments completed on the days that you are virtual.
And along those same lines, the students who are working fully virtually, you guys should be still putting in at least 6 to 7 hours each day in order to keep up with those classes. So again, make sure you're setting a schedule. If possible, get a spot in your house set aside for you to be working so you can get in that mindset. But yeah, you really should be having a full school day, even though you are at home and not at school. It doesn't all have to be all at once. You don't have to be sitting there doing it, 7 to 2, but you should still be putting in about the same number of hours each day.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, next frequently asked question revolves around the Synergy application. Does anyone have any information about the Synergy application?
I can take this one.
All right.
So Synergy, for any who don't know, is our new system that replaced Tyler. Tyler is gone, Synergy is in, and so the old parent portal is no longer going to work, and the new program is called Parent View, VUE. I'm told that parents who had an account, a parent portal account in the old system, should have received an email with their login information for the new system. If you did not, please reach out to us. I believe there's also a place on the Warren website that you can reach out, but if you can't find that, just send us an email. You'll have all of our contact information at the end of this video, and we'll get you hooked up for that. There are a few different apps out there for Synergy. There's a parent app, there's a student app, there's a teacher app. So once you have your login information, you should be able to download those applications and get logged in and be able to see everything going on with your student on the day-to-day.
Perfect. And the truth about the application is very new to us. So, and us as an administrator, I'm still learning how to use it correctly. So we will all be learning together. So parents, is okay if you don't have it down pat. It is okay because we don't have it down pat either. So we will all learn this bad boy together and we'll get through it. So just keep logging in and keep trying and ask questions if you need help. Okay. All right. Next question revolves around Canvas. Is there anything that we can share with parents about Canvas that will help them with their students?
I can go.
No, do it. You
You
can
can
do it.
Amy. You can try me, Ms. Muller, and I can give some insight as well.
Go ahead, Asia.
Are you want me to go first? Okay. So
Yeah,
as far as parents, you do have access to Canvas.
Mm-hmm.
You'll need, if you need help with that, you can reach out to myself or Mr. Howe or Ms. Muller. I believe there's also information on the Warren website about how to log in that way. But there's like a certain code you'll need to log in to view your child's progress. So as a parent, when you log into Canvas, you'll be able to see, how many assignments have been completed, current grade, things of that sort, just so that you have that information for yourself. So you're seeing exactly, what your student is telling you. So if you need questions on how to navigate that, just feel free to let us know.
Amen. And students, let's not forget, we want to have tile view where you see the squares. You want to click on that for each class. Then you want to go to the calendar, find the date, click on the date, and then do all of the activities. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Great answers. Thank you both. We are moving on to the next question, and it revolves around demographic updates in the student management system. Is there anyone that might have some information about how to update the student management system? I'm looking to my left around 7 feet, and Ms. Boyd's hand is up. So we're going to let her come talk about how parents can get the data information to us efficiently.
Me.
Yay!
Okay, so parents, so anytime that you are wanting to update information, an address, a name, a phone number, whatever the case may be, you can always call me or send me an email and let me know what you want to get changed or updated, and then I will send you the form or let you know what you need to do in order to get that done. Address changes, if you are moving and your address has changed, in order for that student to get a bus, it takes normally 24 to 40 hours to get a bus. So make sure that you are giving us enough time to get that address changed. That way your student doesn't have a break in coming into school. Any other changes, you can always give me a call or email and I will get that taken care of for you.
Well, Mr. Russell's coming in. I would also advise you to make sure we have an up-to-date phone number where we can reach you parents. We have lots of information we want to share, and sometimes even congratulatory information on how well your student is doing. So please, please, please make sure there's a number on there that we can reach you at.
Thank you so much, everybody. And for some odd reason, Miss Boyd thought that her point value was 50 and everyone else got 25, but that's okay. We will let her roll with what she wants to do. So
We appreciate her. Yeah.
she got 50.
She knows what she's worth.
So our last question comes in the form of extracurricular events and activities. And I will take a look. I will take just this one just a little bit, and then you guys chime in. I'll be happy to split the points with you. Yes, we do have our extracurricular events that are in session now. They are a little bit different. For instance, even going to the football games, volleyball games, soon to be basketball games, all the different events after school, we have to abide by the CDC guidelines. So we're not able to have as many people come to the events and support our Warriors. So through the athletic department and different clubs, they have the application that they send out each week where you have to go buy tickets, and everyone, including staff members, have to purchase tickets to get in the event. So that is something that is a little bit different. It's taking some getting used to, but again, that's the new normal. Our clubs and service events involvements, they are going on as well as kind of per case basis. So if there's a club that you want to be in, tell your students if there's a club they want to be in, they just got to contact that club sponsor and find out what the particulars are for that particular club. Some clubs are limited on numbers. Some clubs, get to meet outside, so it's a little bit different. So, whatever event that you want to be involved with, just make sure you get a hold of the school so that you don't get yourself in a situation where you don't get to enjoy the activity as you want to. Ms. Muller and Mr. Jones, I know you guys have something to add.
Yeah, all of those events, we are definitely making sure that students are safe at those events, maintaining social distancing as well as masking up. And I would also suggest if some of you are just interested in giving of your time, this has been a really rough point in our lives right now. And a lot of us are kind of like, I want to help, but I don't know how. Sunny Day Food Pantry is always welcomes volunteers to help serve, organize, and you can access that on the Warren Township website.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Ms. Reynolds, is there anything else you wanted to add to that, or were you okay?
I'll just say again, I know it's a little bit different, but those students, parents who have yet to get involved in anything in school that they might be interested in, this is a good time, to kind of get your foot in the door a little bit and get something under your belt, so that you can have that to add to your, resume, your application, whether you want to go to college or whether you're pursuing, the workforce. So remember that, extracurricular clubs and groups of that sort, that counts.
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
And those students who are participating, don't forget to come and get one of the forms so we can count that for your graduation pathway. It's on the CSC. It's called a Box 2 form.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. So we're going to move on to our second to last slide. I want to introduce someone to you. This is Mr. Sean Gitchell. He is our social work intern from IUPUI. I want him to say hello, introduce himself, maybe tell us just a little bit about your background and what you hope to do this year for our parents' kids here at school.
How y'all doing? As Mr. Russell introduced, my name is Sean Gitchell. I'm in my last year of my practicum at IUPUI to get my bachelor's degree in social work. I've been working with this very amazing team for a short period of time, but I'm looking forward to the rest of the year with them to do whatever I can to help produce the best opportunities for all of your students and to move forward with this team in the best possible ways. I have a pretty involved history in high school back in my day. And I look forward to taking that experience and implementing that in with your students to match on experience. I'm really looking forward to the entirety.
Mr. Gitchell, we appreciate you, and we are looking forward to, I know our parents appreciate any little helping hand that they can get, so I've checked your credentials out, and I know you have a lot to offer, and so our parents are going to expect a lot from you, so get ready. So you're ready to rock and roll. We appreciate you. So just a couple final things from me. Parents, we just want you to know that we appreciate you all so much for not only sending your kids here to Warren Central High School, the Warrior Nation, but allowing us to do what we know how to do to help you and your family move forward on this journey to 2022. And like I said before, as it is at the bottom of the screen, history in the making, this is the first cohort to fully move through 4 years with the same team of people. We've never done that before. And our team is by far very capable of making sure that we make history. So again, with that graduation rate, that attendance rate, that the extracurricular involvement rate, and just making sure that everyone knows that we are a family. And that word as at the end of the sentence, it's not just your family being here at school, it's our family being with you as well. So under the Warrior Nation, we are all one. It's all about we, never about me. So we again appreciate the opportunities that you all provide us as staff members to serve your kids here in the Warrior Nation. Another thing, as Ms. Boyd talked about, our office procedures are different. Just even the sure fact that we can't have a lot of students in the office before. We used to do something was super fun. We have Fruit Snack Friday, and Miss Boyd's on it too, but you can't see it. We just a little trinkets, little opportunities to connect with the kids. They come down, we give them a little fruit snack, we give them a high five, when it was appropriate back, 4 months ago, to give hugs out, whatever we need to do to make sure these kids feel welcome, loved, and moving forward. That's what we do. We're still going to do those things to make sure kids are loved and welcome. We just got to do them now a little more safely and as efficiently as possible. So, when your kids come to the office, we still love them. We still want to hug them and all that, but we can't. So we want them to get in the office, take care of business as possible, as soon as and as efficiently as possible, and then get back to those classrooms and sit down in their seats and get their work done. So we are definitely here to continue serving. We want you to help us communicate with your warrior. So beginning next week between 6 p.m. 9 p.m., I'm gonna start sending out the weekly cohort updates. So it's just a check-in from me to all students. So make sure your students are checking their emails on the general Gmail account. Not the Canvas, it'll be on the general Gmail account from me, Mr. Russell, on Sunday evenings, usually between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. It's called the Cohort Weekly Update. A lot of information that they need to know about what's going on and happenings within our cohort. They also do need to check daily Canvas account for announcements from teachers, the cohort, whoever, Mr. Shepler may be on there. So academic coach, whoever it needs to be on there to give information to the students, make sure your students are checking that Canvas account. And this is something big. Please remind your warrior to figure out their passion and their purpose. People that, go through life without any passion, any purpose, sometimes don't ever find their path. And we don't want our warriors to be that way. So I know we're teaching and preaching it here at school, so we want to continue back you up at home. So make sure every student has that passion about what they want to do in life, but mainly, make sure they understand their purpose. Everyone on this earth has a purpose, and we want every child to make sure they find that. So it's always about that core, and what that core means is always about civility, order, respect, and excellence. So that means we want you to continue. We know you do, but continue encouraging your students to stay clear of the mess. We call it the mess, the ugly, the clutter of life, such as illegal activity, social drama. Ms. Reynolds touched on, who's on your roster. Do the people around you have your best interests? Are you of one accord? Are you flying in the right direction with the right people for the right purpose? So we preach core here, and we talk about core here all the time. So make sure you continue to talk to your warriors about that. Hopefully it's not backwards, upside down. I'm not sure how that works, but the Student Rights and Responsibility Handbook, or the core handbook, this is available to all students online. All the do's and the don'ts about the school, the laws and parameters of which students need to abide by in between are in that book. So make sure, and I will send this out as well in a PDF format, so they'll have it from me as well. But make sure you highlight some things in there for your students, so that way they don't get caught up in the mess. We don't want them to get caught up in any drama. We want you to continue talking to your warrior about utilizing their skills, talents, and the time they've been given on this earth to do what they're supposed to do. Again, that's about that passion and that purpose. And we want you to be patient with us. We're not perfect by no means, but we definitely are a family. So, you know, with any good family, you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs, your ins and outs. But at the end of the day, like that W's at the bottom of the screen, we're going to come together, and it's all about we. We are going to make history. And there's a song, and I hope this plays loud enough. It's Pop in Circumstance. So this is the music of graduation that we want all of our students to have in the front, not the back of the mind, the front of their mind. So this is a little bit different. So we're going to end with this, and we're going to put the contact information up. So if there's anything that you need from any of us, you know, you just give us a call. But this music, I want every student to have. So we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. Here's our contact information, and enjoy the music.
And it's
Thank you, parents. We love you. Have a good afternoon.